In today's episode of the Sabang to Merauke journey, I leave Luwuk in Central Sulawesi behind and continue towards the famous and incredibly beautiful Togean Islands, home of the Bajo, the sea gypsies. I meet some new friends, and together we dive deep into the history of a Second World War wreck and explore the island's other hidden treasures in the country of the most kind and welcoming people in the world. This is the Togean Islands.
Selamat pagi, guys. It is indeed another beautiful morning here in Luwuk, Central Sulawesi. And this morning I am leaving Luwuk to go to a place called Ampana. Ampana is the gateway to the Togean Islands, a place that I have to visit here in Sulawesi. Even though I have visited a lot of islands already, I have to go there. So Ampana is 233 kilometers away. GPS is saying 5 hours, so my estimate is 7 hours if I'm a little bit lucky. And all the bags are packed. I'm ready, in good health, good spirit. We just need to find a little bit of gasoline and then we are ready for a long day on the road. But a good day on the road. So let's go. MyPertamina. Yes, Pertamax. Or turbo, ada turbo hari ini. Mungkin ada, mungkin ada.
A full tank of Pertamax or Turbo, nearly 20 liters, will typically cost me about 250,000 rupiah or $15 US. And I always like chatting with the gas attendants, as they're usually quite curious to why I'm bringing so much luggage. And at Pertamina, I like that I can just pay with the MyPertamina application that's connected to my GoPay, so I don't have to worry about bringing any cash.
Alright guys, that is it. Marjan is full with Pertamax and we are ready for a full day on the road. Whoopa. Let's hit it.
Just 20 minutes later, Marjan and I had left the city behind, and natural beauty was all around us. The sun on my face and cool wind coming through my open visor. We rode along the coastline before reaching mountain views looking like a scene out of the Jurassic Park movies. And after around 2.5 hours of riding from Luwuk, we had reached Punta. If you want to get to the Togean Islands the fastest way possible, it's from this little port in Punta, where you can charter a speedboat directly to the Togeans. But going from Ampana is a lot cheaper if you have the time, so I took a small break from the 36 degrees in the sun before continuing towards Ampana.
Oh yeah. So guys, it is now 12 o'clock and I just did a small stop. Just got a few snacks, some cookies, something to drink, and we have around 100 kilometers to Ampana from here. It's a bit tough today because it is so hot and the heat is really taking a toll on my energy, so I really have to stay focused when I'm on the road. But we'll make it. Let's go to Ampana.
The roads from Luwuk to Ampana are probably the best roads I've seen throughout all my travels in Sulawesi. I'll typically stop to stretch my legs every 2 hours or so, especially on a day like this, where riding plus 70 kilometers per hour just isn't enough to cool you down. It's sometimes on these random stops that I remember to appreciate the little things, like the sound of the palm trees as the leaves dance in the wind, the sound of the small bells on the many nearby grazing cows. It seemed like they enjoyed the view as much as I did, as they kept winking at me. Not all days on the road are equally exciting, but that day was definitely one of the good ones.
And oh my god, I got 3 little words for this place. Life is good. Not bad. Oh, I want to swim so bad. The problem is, it's a little bit dangerous if I go swimming and leave all my things here. That is the con of traveling solo. Chris, focus. Tomorrow you'll be in Togean. Plenty of opportunities to swim. Let's go.
And just a few minutes later, this happened.
What the schnitzel? What? No way. No way. 4 eagles. What? I think it's my lucky day.
4 large eagles decided to bless me with their presence. Something that I will never get tired of seeing on my trips.
That is what I get for asking myself last night, wouldn't it be easier if I drove a car? Yeah, it sure would, but I wouldn't spot things like this. That is one of the many reasons why we love motorcycle traveling. Good news, guys! Selamat datang di Kota Ampana. We have made it to Ampana. So, I have already booked a place for tonight that is called Hotel Oasis. It was one of the best places I could find. They, however, only had a standard room left. But they promised me I would get AC, so fingers crossed that would be just fine, because it's only for one night. Hey, I see there, Hotel Oasis. Okay. Oh, I cannot feel my butt. Oh. Okay, guys, time to unpack Machan, get settled in, find some food. It looks nice. Place looks nice. I'll update you later. Selamat siang.
The hotel looked very decent, and my small room only costed 275,000 rupiah or $17. And after a short recovery in the AC, I packed up my things for the following day and headed out into the city to find some supplies. And there, I met Iki. He was taxiing a small carriage hitched to a scooter called a bentor.
Beli snacks dulu dan aqua untuk besok.
The ride back and forth was only 20,000 rupiah or $1. And Iki seemed very happy that we could speak together in Indonesian. One of the reasons I had booked Oasis was because the following morning I would have to get to the port, and it's located right behind the hotel. So as the sun set over Ampana, the hotel helped me order some dinner. And with a pack of Indonesian Slay cookies and some Netflix, it was time for a bit of R&R before the island adventure began.
Selamat pagi, guys. It is another beautiful morning here in Indonesia, and it is now 20 minutes to 9, and it's time to go to the harbor.
I've had a great one night stay here at Hotel Oasis. The owners are really nice, really helpful. The food was decent, and yeah, it's been all in all great. So I talked to Iki yesterday, my driver, and asked him if he could come and pick me up this morning to help me with my gear. And Iki is now here to pick me up, so let's go and find the speedboat. Selamat pagi, bro.
Pagi.
Siap?
Siap.
Okay. So it really isn't that far to the port, but because I'm bringing so much luggage, the camera, my clothes and all that, yeah, I told Iki yesterday if he could be here this morning at exactly 8:30, I would give him 50,000. And he was here a 8:15, so perfect. So there are two ways to get to the Togean Islands. You can take a public boat or a speedboat. The public boat is 3 hours and the speedboat is only 1.5 hours to Wakai. And I'm taking the speedboat and it departs every day at 9 o'clock. So now we just gotta find out how to buy a ticket. Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi. Bro, terima kasih banyak ya.
Sama-sama Tuan Chris.
Ya?
Siap.
Oke. Terima kasih, Bro. Okay.
Getting a ticket is rather simple. You don't have to book in advance. Simply walk in and ask to buy a ticket. Speaking Indonesian is of course an advantage, but they are quite used to foreigners speaking English as well. And my ticket with the speedboat was 160,000 rupiah or $10 US.
And one of the staffs here from Oasis, she's actually come here to help me get the ticket. So, good service.
Before you can go to the Togeans, you do have to stop by the immigration office right next door, where they will register your passport and travel dates. But it's super fast, and the staff there are super kind. I was happy to see how popular the Togeans have become, as foreigners from many different countries had come to visit. And just as I thought we were ready to go, the plans changed a little bit.
Alright guys, last minute changes. It is 9:35 and they just told us, because I'm the only one stopping in Bomba, the first stop, the speedboat doesn't want to go there. It will go straight to Wakai. So we have to change to another port very fast now and take a boat that's a little bit slower, but we'll get there. Okay, Gaspol. Surely if it hadn't been for Wisna from Oasis, then I would never have made it here to this boat on time. So Wisna, terima kasih banyak ya. Thank you. Alright guys, good news. We're on our way and it is 10:15. Some a little bit bad news is that it's not gonna take 50 minutes like I had planned with the speedboat, but it's gonna take 3 hours to Bomba, it's called, the place I'm going, because they have to make a few stops along the way to drop off passengers. So luckily I actually enjoy being on these boats, to the rocking of the ship. If there's not too many waves, then I can relax and yeah, maybe get a little nap. So I'll go in and get some rest.
As this boat was cheaper, I only ended up paying 65,000 rupiah or $4 US. These wooden boats always brings me back to my river adventure in East Kalimantan, where I sailed 36 hours up the Mahakam River. The sound from the engine is always quite loud, so I always bring a noise-cancelling headset. But it's nice and cool, as wind constantly flows through the boat. And after a short stop at the first port, Kulinkinari, we had arrived at Bomba.
Alright guys, it is 1 o'clock and I've made it to my first stop here in the Togean, Araya Resort. Terima kasih. Mari. Oke. Selamat siang. Salam kenal, saya Chris. Teddy? Salam kenal, saya Chris.
Iin.
Hiin?
Iya.
Hiin.
Saya Irma.
Salam kenal.
Nah,
Dadah. Oh, and they have dogs. Oh, mereka tidak malu ya?
Tidak. Biasa.
Mau cium ya? Oke. Ke kamar dulu. Oh, that is great to hear though. So I'm actually here on my own because the other guests just checked out. I don't have a ton of plans here for the first day. So I think I'm gonna get a bit of rest. I'm gonna show you guys the property and the room in a bit. But then, yeah, rest today and get ready for a really exciting program this week. Oh, we have made it. And I have a bagus view. Dan ada juga, saya lupa namanya ini. Hammock, ada hammock juga. Wah, bagus view. Mantap.
This place was exactly what I had hoped for. Tranquility in a treetop house overlooking the ocean, with plenty of space for my luggage. But the best thing was, after reassuring the dogs that it was okay for them to stay, they kept me company. So we spent a few hours enjoying the calming sounds from the forest and the cool breeze from the ocean.
Alright, guys, it is 5 o'clock and the sun is almost setting. It has been a great first day here at Araya Resort. It's very basic, but I really like it here. The staff are super kind and I really like this treetop house. It really feels like you're living in the top of a tree. And the best surprise of the day was these dogs that have been following me around everywhere. It feels like today I've just been traveling with someone. Whether I went to get something to eat, they followed me. When I went down to the beach, they followed me there as well. And yeah, now this one, Mare, is just hanging out on my porch. And it's gonna be an exciting week. I've been talking to Teddy, the dive master here at Araya, and he has a lot of good things for me to see the next couple of days. So I'm really excited for tomorrow, where we're going to a really unique spot. And super cool thing about this place is they actually have Starlink. They only have electricity and signal from 6 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning. But at 6 o'clock at night, they have Starlink. So tonight I'll have a really good connection. So that'll be nice. Oh, someone got tired of waiting for me. So I think I'll go down and get some dinner. Alright, guys, it is 6:30 here at Araya and it's dinner time. So this afternoon I met with the co-owner Ellie, who just arrived from Ampana. Really nice guy. I will introduce you tomorrow. And yeah, now they have made me some dinner, some rice, some fried vegetables, some tempeh. So the dog is not really allowed to be in the restaurant, but since I'm the only guest, he gets to sit right here next to me as I eat. Selamat pagi, guys. It is now 7 o'clock here at Araya in the Togeans. I woke up around 5 o'clock this morning and I've just had a very nice and slow morning, having my morning coffee here from the balcony, taking a quick cold shower downstairs, and such a nice view here in the morning. But unfortunately it seems like today the weather is not too good. So I'm a little bit worried because we are supposed to go diving here in about 30 minutes. So In a bit, I'll just grab my gear, go down to the diving center, and hopefully the guys will say that it's okay to go diving today, because we're actually going to a very special spot. We're going to see something under the water that I've never seen before. So yeah, fingers crossed. But so far, first good night here at Araya, and yeah, I'm ready to start exploring. So let's head down there and let's get the first day here in the Togeans started. Let's go. All right, guys, so I just talked to Teddy, the dive master, and Ellie, the owner here, and they said that it's still okay to dive. So yeah, all good. And now I'll get a bit of quick breakfast before we head out. And the breakfast is just what I felt like having today. Pancakes, fruit, jam, syrup, and chocolate sauce. Perfect. So, makan dulu, guys, and then let's go.
I didn't have to bring any gear, as Araya Resort has its own stocked dive center. Indy is currently being trained to be the newest dive master, and his training is covered by Araya and its co-owner Ellie. Because diving runs in the family for Andy, as Teddy, his father, is also a dive master. So as the crew prep the boat, we're also joined by the neighboring resort's lovely manager, Elora. We then set course for a unique diving experience, because here in the Togeans, they have a spot called the B24 bomber site. Shipwreck diving is quite a sought-after experience, but the wreck that we would get to see wasn't exactly a ship. And on the way, we passed several of the small villages built on poles over the ocean, as there are a lot of Bajo people, the sea gypsies, living in the Togeans. Something I would get to see a lot more of and learn more about later on.
Alright, guys, it is 10 o'clock and we have arrived at our first dive spot here in the Togean. So what's special about this spot is that we are actually going looking for something that crashed into the water here in 1945. So yes, this place is called the B24. Ah, B24. Okay, let's go down and check it out. Let's go.
The year was 1945. Germany was on the brink of defeat, and Adolf Hitler had committed suicide 3 days earlier. The war against Japan continued, and the atomic bombings were still a few months away. American forces were still targeting Japanese positions in the South Pacific, including Indonesia. And on May 3rd, 11 soldiers were returning from a mission in Morotai, North Maluku, in a B-24 bomber plane. One of the engines suddenly caught fire, approximately 1.5 hours from their target. They attempted to stop the engine's propeller as it was creating a drag, but without any success. And this would mean that they wouldn't have enough fuel to return to base. Due to the heavily wooded and rugged area on the nearby islands, parachuting was too risky. So they dropped as much unnecessary weighty equipment as they possibly could, including weapons and ammunition. But the 11-man crew from the 317th Bomb Squadron realized that they would have to put the plane down over the ocean. They had enough time to call it in, so a Catalina, a plane that are able to land on the water, was on its way to their assist. So they brought it down over the surface with the flaps lowered, at an airspeed of 95 kilometers per hour. This allowed the aircraft to skim on the top of the water before finally stopping. All the crew members exited safely before the plane sunk to the bottom of the ocean, and they were picked up by the Catalina rescue flight. And it's from their rescue report, that's widely available online, that we know their story today. It's an incredible sight, how through time, the coral and marine life has taken over the 17 times 22 meter metal relic. Swimming underneath the wings, or even through the plane, can be dangerous and is not recommended, as the state of the plane is rather fragile. But I do recommend visiting it.
Alright guys, and we are back up again. That was so much fun. I have never tried diving next to a wreck. You know, there are quite a lot of divers that will go and dive with a shipwreck, but yeah, this is so unique because this is a plane wreck. So it was a ton of fun, and I think we went down to around 22-23 meters. We were down for 45 minutes, and now we're gonna istirahat a bit, have some coffee, some snacks, and then we're gonna head to the second dive spot of the day, which is at, where are we going next?
Goa.
To Goa. Okay, let's go to Goa.
Right next to the dive spot, there is a small Bajo village that you can visit as well. But we set our course towards the largest settlement in the Togean Islands, called Wakai, to buy a little bit of tikus.
And in case you haven't watched my previous video from Banggai and you don't know what tikus is, it is the local alcohol, homemade alcohol here from Sulawesi. So here we don't buy it in a bottle, we buy it in plastic bag. Satu plastic berapa? 30. Around 30,000 rupiah for around 200 milliliters. Yeah, maybe 300. Okay, mole.
We had brought delicious home-cooked lunch from Araya, and it was on our way back to Araya, we did a small wall dive down to around 30 meters at a dive spot called Goa Goa. It means cave, as there is a quite cool cave opening where the current can carry you right through the cave. And it was then back to the resort for a bit of R&R.
Alright guys, it is I think 4:30. We're back from our dives today and just had a nice cold shower, and now I'm back here at my treehouse in the hammock, relaxing a bit because I got quite a headache this afternoon. Did not drink enough water, and yeah, you dehydrate quite fast when you're diving, so that's probably why. And just coming back and having Maris here ready for some afternoon cuddles. Oh, it's so cozy. Yeah, it makes me relax so much just seeing him laying here and relaxing as well. It kind of, I don't know why, but it kind of tells me if he can lay down and relax, then you can as well. So it's really nice.
And to end the day, Aspan, Andy, Taufik, Elora and Ellie celebrated me with a bit of tikus and a song, as it had just been my birthday.
Cheers.
Cheers. Toki.
Toki. Selamat pagi, guys. It is 6:30 here at Araya Resort, and wow, I'm tired this morning. So we ended up drinking quite a lot of tikus last night, and it is so rare that I drink alcohol on my trips, so I get intoxicated very fast. I think I woke up 5 or 6 times during the night with a slamming headache. But fantastic morning, waking up here, seeing as the sun rises, and the guys Maris, Scuba, and Antti here, they've been sleeping all night out in front of my room because I came out during the night a few times as I had to go to the bathroom. And they were just out here looking, sleeping, protecting the place. So, alright, guys, sarapan time, and then let's go and see what Pa Eli has in store for today. It's gonna be another good day here at Araya in Togean. No, ska vi måna? Va? Måste. Ska vi måna? Alright, guys, so I just had my breakfast and I talked with Eli, and he says that this morning we're going to look for sharks. And apparently, I think it's the black tips or the white tips that get really big here in Togean. So really fingers crossed. So all is ready except for my dive computer. So as some of you may know, I've been using the Apple Watch 2 as a dive computer for quite a long time, but for the last couple of months my diving application hasn't been working, and it's so annoying that when you have to use it, it doesn't work. So yeah, today I can't use it, so I have to borrow a dive computer from the guys. Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi. Pagi.
Sakit kepala atau pusing?
Aman.
Pagi ini aman?
Masih aman.
Bagus.
We didn't know it at the time, but that dive would have a very special surprise for us that none of us had expected. And even though I had only been staying at Araya for a few days, I didn't really feel like a guest with these guys, but more like a friend.
Halo channel, welcome to my guys.
Okay, guys.
Jadi apa namanya dive spot ini?
Ray Point.
Ray Point. Oh, and I got this ole from Bang Teddy. It is made from a shell, yeah?
Yes.
It's a dolphin. So he says now I will get all the girls because I'm wearing this. Makasih ya bro.
Taufik was also being trained to be a dive master, and one of the things that he needs to master is how to do a dive briefing for the guests. We could have done it in Indonesian, but as we had plenty of time, I tried helping him through the challenge of doing it in English.
Beruntung hari ini kau akan melihat karena ikan punya ekor.
Nah,
oke.
Terima kasih.
High five.
Good job. Hey, good job for the dive. Hey, ayo. Good job.
Arigato.
10 count.
1, 2, 3.
We dropped down to around 29 meters depth, as the sharks typically likes to roam around 25 to 30 meters. It was my favorite kind of dive, a wall dive, as looking up against the wall makes me feel like I'm looking up at a skyscraper. And it only took us a few minutes before this sign was going around. The black-tip sharks were swimming below us at around 35 to 40 meters depth, which is unfortunately a bit too deep, as I'm only trained and certified to go down to 30 meters. But then the best surprise of the day emerged from the deep blue sea. Manta rays are quite common to find in Labuan Bajo, Flores. But on these parts, it's a rare sight. Looking at the clips today, it's hard for me to tell whether it was a devil or a manta ray. Anyhow, it was an incredible and unique sight. And everyone under the water could hear Indy's excitement as well. But the excitement wasn't over just yet, as a school of barracuda fish blessed us with their presence as they circled all around us. It can also be quite interesting to inspect the wall for macro, the small stuff. As we did, an eel stuck its head out to say hello. The GoPro cameras are not that great for capturing macro, as its minimum focus distance is 30 centimeters. But luckily Ellie had brought his own camera as well, which can capture these tiny details zoomed in 20 or 25 times. Those sort of details can even be difficult for us divers to see just with the naked eye. And it makes you realize how easily we can pass by thousands of unique creatures that do their very best to camouflage themselves with their surroundings as we swim around just looking for the big stuff.
Manta. Keren banget anjing. Kopi.
Oke, 3 ikan hiu sudah naik.
Guys, fantastic dive. Black tip atau grey tip?
Black tip, white tip, and gray tip.
Yeah. Good dive, yeah?
Good guys.
Oke.
Kopi dulu.
Siesta Hakuna Matata.
Everybody seemed so happy with the dive. And I could just tell you that we celebrated with coffee and fruit. But a few minutes earlier, we celebrated like this.
Selamat sore, guys. It is time for our afternoon surprise trip to the secret destination that Ellie has promised me he would take me to. So all he told me was just bring all your camera gear. There will be something unique for you to capture. So got it all here, and yeah, I'm actually super excited to see what it is. Let's go find the guys and let's go on an afternoon trip.
Pa Eli then sent me with his 2 MVPs, Taufik and Aspan, because we were going to see a unique phenomenon that happens here once the sun sets. And on the way, Pa Eli suggested that we made a stop to a small local village where the kids would be very happy to be visited by a foreigner.
Selamat sore. Alright guys, We have made it here to a small village called Desa Siatu. A small Bajo village, also with houses built on poles like we previously saw in Sampela. And I can tell here as well that the bridges also need a bit of upkeep. As you can tell here, they're not in the best condition. But even though they're not in the best condition, they're actually in better condition than the bridges I saw in Sampela. Sudah bisa berenang? Ya? Umur berapa, Dek? 3 tahun? Oh, 4 tahun? Sudah bisa berenang sendiri, nggak apa-apa? The Bajo people are truly like fish. This little guy is swimming from age 4, no problem, on his own. Dia seperti ikan. We're passing through extremely dangerous terrains as we're challenging the highest peaks of a teeny tiny mountain here in this village. Passing by dangerous flesh-eating goats and hungry Indonesians. Di atas ada spot bagus dengan bagus view. At least that's what Aspan he says. Wih, sudah jalan non-stop 6 jam baru sampai Gunung Siatu. We made it. Good job. Good job. Good job. Capek sekali.
Capek sekali.
Gimana? Capek.
Sangat capek.
Capek. All jokes aside, it's a pretty good view from up here.
It's a great little spot for some afternoon photos. And it didn't take long before the children of the village noticed that I was flying a drone. And bringing that here will make you instantly popular.
So, we ended up having quite a lot of friends join us here on the top of the small mountain. Halo guys!
Halo!
Suka nonton YouTube?
Suka!
Tapi ada jaringan di sini?
Ada!
Oh, bagus. Jadi nanti bisa nonton video saya di YouTube ya?
Yes!
Mantap. Wih, terapas.
As the sun would soon set, we had to continue to our final destination for the day.
Oh, ikut deh.
I wish I had had a bit more time to spend there, as everyone seems so happy and welcoming to have visitors. So I can definitely recommend visiting this small village, as their lovely energy will surely make you smile from ear to ear.
Dan jangan lupa nonton di YouTube.
As Taufik, Aspan and myself continue to our next stop, we got to enjoy a fantastic sunset view from our small wooden boat.
Alright guys, we have made it to Desa Tumbulawa, and we have come here because Taufik has just told me that sometimes if you're really lucky you can see a few hornbills here, sometimes a bit more than a few. So I haven't seen hornbills since I was since I was back visiting East Kalimantan earlier this year. And during my Kalimantan trip, I actually only saw a few hornbills. So yeah, I am hoping to see a bit more today. Jadi desa ini sudah sangat terkenal untuk ada hornbill. Okay. Then I think our odds sounding a little bit better.
Semoga beruntung hari ini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're simply waiting because the guys say that the birds, the hornbills, they will fly from this side to this side in about 10 minutes. There's already a lot of birds flying around, so many sounds. It's really nice. So, fingers crossed.
And so we waited on the wooden bridge as the time said exactly 16:55, waiting for a flock of hornbills that supposedly flies to their nest every night at exactly 5 o'clock. But as the minutes went by, even the guys looked a bit unsure until we suddenly heard the sound of their wings flapping above us. I had never seen that many hornbills before. Indonesia is home to 13 species of hornbills. 2 of them are endemic to Sulawesi, including the Sulawesi red-knobbed hornbill that was flying above us. It's quite distinctive because of his red knob on his forehead. And in a matter of 10 minutes, the whole show was over. The hornbills had safely passed over to their place of rest for the night. And I went back to my place of rest for the night. It had been a fantastic stay at Araya Resort. Surrounded by all of this beauty, we had experienced so much in just a few days. So for the last day, we decided to take a slow day. After breakfast, I had coffee and chatted a bit with the guys at their usual hangout spot at the resort. Marit, Auntie and myself recovered a few hours from the last few days of excursions. And then the guys took me to a small private beach where we simply enjoyed the view. We listened to music, had some coffee. Aspan cut us some fresh papaya, and we spent a couple of hours just hanging out, or as we like to call it in Indonesia, nongkrong. If you want to visit this beach, just ask Pa Eli once you get to Araya.
Alright, guys, it is my last night here at Araya, and it has been absolutely incredible. So now, Andy and myself, we've taken out the kayaks and just gone straight out into the ocean because we want to enjoy the sunset from here. And then I think we're all gonna have dinner together, and that's gonna be it. Tomorrow I continue to another place here in the Togean Islands so that you can see what other kind of places you can stay here at as well. And we will do different activities, and it's gonna be awesome. But now, kayaking and menikmati sunset. Anjay.
Araya has kayaks that you can use for free, as long as you pull them in and out of the water yourself. Andy and I then found a tiny island that just happened to be the place where the birds go fishing for sunset. And we had the front row seats for the best possible view of it all. We then set course back for Araya, because that night the lovely Ibus from Araya had cooked us all a feast that we could enjoy together for my last night. So stay tuned guys for part 2 of the Togean Islands. Thank you for watching.